Hello everyone. So today we're going to be talking about function notation application problems. So last week we talked about function notation and the fact that we have this f of t or f of x and how this is really just naming our function. So like in this problem, that's my function f. And how inside the parentheses, that is our input. So that is what we're inputting into the function, where f of t is our output, or in other words, our y. So now we're going to look at some application of that. So for this first problem, it says, let f of t be the outside temperature in degrees Fahrenheit, t hours after 6 a.m. And I'm going to explain the meaning of each statement. So what is this saying? Well, it's saying that f of t is equal to the temperature outside. So my function, what it's outputting, is the temperature. And then my input is t hours after 6 a.m. So this t right here is going to be the number of hours after 6. So looking at this first one, I have f of 0 equals 58. Well, I know I'm inputting my time, or the hours, so I know it's been 0 hours, and I'm outputting my temperature. Well, so this is saying 0 hours after 6 a.m. it is 58 degrees. So I could say in other words, that means at 6 a.m. it is 58 degrees. Okay, now let's look at this next one. So now it says f of 6 is equal to n. Well, again, I know 6, I am inputting hours after 6 a.m. Well, 6 a.m. plus 6 hours, that's just going to be 12 p.m. And I'm outputting n. Well, n, that's just a variable. So that means I don't necessarily know the temperature then. So this is basically saying at 12 p.m. it is n degrees outside. Okay, now let's look at this last one. This last one has f of 3 is less than f of n. Well, again, I'm inputting my hours after 6 a.m. So for this 3, 6 plus 3 equals 9 a.m. And then for this 9, I have 6 plus 9, which equals 15. However, 15 is not time. So you need to look back at, okay, 12 p.m. is the cutoff, and I need to add 3 to it to get 15. So this is really 3 p.m. And it says f of 3, which again is my temperature, is less than f of 9. So this is really saying it is colder outside at 9 a.m. than 3 p.m. Or in other words, you can say the temperature is lower at 9 a.m. than 3 p.m. Let's go ahead and write that. The temperature is lower at 9 a.m. than 3 p.m. Okay, now let's look at a word problem here. So this problem says you are purchasing tickets to a Chiefs game and tickets cost $75 per ticket and there is a parking fee of $50. And it says hint, label what your x is and what your f of x or y is. So for the first part, it is asking me to write an equation and function notation to represent the total cost to attend the Chiefs game. Okay, so I'm going to start with going ahead and labeling what my x is and what my f of x or y is. So going back to the problem, it says you're purchasing tickets to a Chiefs game. Tickets cost $75 per ticket, and there's a parking fee of $50. when I'm looking at word problems, I always look for that word per, because that normally means, okay, that is going to be a variable. And so I see per ticket. So I'm going to label that as X. So X is going to be number of tickets. But now it says to write an equation to represent the total cost to attend the Chiefs game. So I'm inputting my number of tickets because I don't know how many tickets I'm going to buy. But my output is going to be how much do I have to pay to go to this Chiefs game. So that means my f of x is going to be my total cost. So that's what I'm going to find at the end. And now I need to actually write this equation. So it tells me to write in function notation, so I have f of x is equal to. Now I need to use what it tells me in the problem. Well, it says it's $75 per ticket, so it's going to be 75x. Since I'm going to pay $75 for every single ticket that I buy. And then there's a parking fee of $50. Well, that's just going to be a one-time payment, so I'm just going to add 50. And so there I have my equation. Okay, now I'm going to use this equation for the next two parts. So the first part says, how much will it cost if you buy tickets for yourself and 3 friends? Okay, so I'm buying a ticket for myself and 3 friends. So in total, I'm buying 4 tickets. So now I need to plug that in for either x or f of x. Well, x, that stands for my number of tickets. So that means I'm going to plug in 4 everywhere I see an x. And again, I'm still going to be using my function notation here. So that means instead of f of x, I have f of 4 is equal to, instead of 75x, I have 75 times 4 plus 50. And then now I'm going to simplify that out. So 75 times 4, I get 300. And 300 plus 50 is $350. So that's how much it will cost if me and 3 friends go. Okay, now it says, how many tickets can you buy with $500? So this time, I don't know what x is. That's mystery. That's what I'm trying to find. However, I do know at the very end my total cost is 500. So I know that f of x is equal to 500. So I'm going to go ahead and plug that into my equation over here. So now instead of f of x, I already know the total cost. I know that's 500. So I'm going to replace f of x with 500. And then have 75x plus 50. And then I'm going to solve that from there. So I subtract 50 from both sides. And then when I do 450 divided by 75, I get 6. So x is equal to 6 tickets. And make sure to always put those units in there. Okay, go ahead and pause the video and try completing this second word problem on your own. So do parts A, B, and C. Okay, here are the answers that you should have gotten. So this one was talking about taking an Uber to the Chiefs game. The Uber charges $5 arrival fee along with 45 cents per minute of travel. So again, I like to go ahead and label. So I know M is going to be for minutes, so how long I'm traveling for. And then my function is going to be the total cost. That's what I'm looking for. And so I got this equation right here. The first part said, how long can you travel if you have $20.75? So I know my total cost already. I know it costs $20.75. I want to see how many minutes I can travel with that. So that means I replaced the f of m with 20.75, and then I solved for m and got 35 minutes. In the next part, I know I'm going to be traveling 50 minutes since I live 15 minutes from the stadium, and I want to see how much that cost me. So now I'm inputting into my function to find that total cost. So everywhere I saw an m in my function, I replaced it with 50. So f of 50, which again this is just saying how much it's going to cost after 50 minutes, when I simplified that out, I got that it will cost me $27.50.